The Planet Green Trees Show.
A lot of issues, more issues than ever, in the various strategies that may be used to address those people that are currently locked up. And there's, although Michigan is not one that I would speak of, other states have taken tremendous steps to try to, release people from jail, prisons that involve cannabis convictions, and even expunged without legislation, just by, executive order and whatnot. We're a little disappointed with how Michigan has reacted in that we have candidates that ran on and won on cannabis issues. And I think this may be, I don't want to speak for you, but, you got a developing cannabis industry, which is built on the concepts and easy to sign up for when it's taxed and regulated. But we know that 2 minutes? We know that what that really means, it means that they've drawn a line in the sand, and that still there's illegality still, or perceived illegality, and in some of the gray areas that as the things evolve. And those that are signing up for that don't really fully understand. They just kind of got dropped in, and they're missing out on a lot of the social injustices that still exist. Primarily, like says, Michigan is a classic example of this. We've gone overboard with making rules, administrating rules, licenses, focus on licenses, without addressing any of the core fundamental problems that are excuse the reference, but resin from the, prohibition of marijuana, across the board. I mean, hundreds. I mean, still, I represented a nurse the other day, still represented her, and she's a patient, and, because she's a professional licensed nurse, and they're threatening to take her license just because she uses cannabis medically. Like, how could that be in 2020 when they legalized it? And, she's a patient, and there's no... Anyways, it's just crazy. But there's a lot to be said. I think I would agree that it starts with freeing the people that are still incarcerated, and especially reinstating the privileges of people that lost privileges because of cannabis convictions, such as the right to bear arms, right to vote, right to get loans, right to get housing, all those things that are associated with the felony convictions and criminalization of cannabis. Do you find that to be the same thing as has our community not divided in a way, like the, business side of it and the remnants of the social issues that still permeate?
Well, that's a long answer to that question, but the frameworks for legalization in Michigan and California and Canada, just about everywhere, are not working very well. They're certainly not addressing the harms of the drug war in the past. The social equity programs are being designed by politicians and bureaucrats badly. Folks like the academic community are being left out because of federal funding and all the constraints are involved with that. And so it's just very clumsy. And it's just not working very well. In Michigan, one of our constituents is serving life for 3 pounds of weed that he sold to an undercover cop 25 years ago, because you have some 3 strikes and your outlaws there that are crazy, and his previous 2 convictions were for weed, and poor guy's African American. His name's Michael Thompson, and you can learn all about him at lastprisonproject.org and help him. But Governor Whitmer, the clemency petition's on her desk. She thinks she's still in the running for Veep, so I don't think she's going to grant that until that's been decided one way or the other. But meanwhile, Michael's in his late 60s. COVID-19's ravishing the prison he's in, and we're worried he's going to die in there, and for 3 pounds of weed in Michigan, where there's dispensaries that sell that much in half a day. So
the state collects tax
something's
on it.
terribly, terribly wrong with our system when we have these outcomes that are still happening, as you said, in 2020, and whether it be your nurse client or whether it be Michael Thompson and everybody in between those 2 extremes. It's really shameful, and this is, and to be clear, LPP is just one of many social justice groups trying to do this. Our focus is a little different than others, but I just hope that the momentum that's been built recently with social justice will continue, and we'll be able to get folks like Michael and others out and make sure this woman's license doesn't get taken away so she can keep healing people, I mean,
Exactly.
She's healing people. Why would you want to stop that?
The Planet Green Trees Show.